Let's see what they got. For those of you not aware, I'm really not sold on this.
Gotham Knights, and we're kicking it off with the first minutes of gameplay. This section follows the prologue, which WB Montreal is still keeping secret, and will be the first time you take control of a character. After picking which knight you want to play as, this section serves to tutorialize some of the game's basic traversal and combat mechanics, as well as introduce you to the wider mystery taking place in Gotham following the death of Batman. Enjoy!
You want to break into the GCPD headquarters for a what-if? Be my guest.
I decrypted the case Batman sent with his message. We should focus on that.
I looked it over, but did I get everything? It doesn't look complete. He says this has implications that could shake Gotham to its core.
Ominous, but not exactly helpful. I saw a few places we should
I can't tell, so it lets you switch the character. Does that mean like
He also mentioned a doctor
you right now there's like you can select which character you want to play with? Or is this just like a lazy,
not sure what it is.
like what this comes off as is a lazy way of getting around like a dynamic cinema camera, you know? Like one of my problems with Assassin's Creed Origins was that most cutscenes or most conversations with NPCs in the game, especially like side content, was all like it was basically it centered the pivot of the camera in between you two and then like the two people talking, Bayek and the NPC, and then you could just rotate the camera around so that they didn't have to do like a dynamic cool cinematic camera like in The Witcher 3. And then for Assassin's Creed Odyssey they fixed it and they had basically these cinematic scenes across the board. No matter what side quest it was, they would have these like cinematic camera angles used. And then Valhalla, they got rid of it somehow, and it didn't have that, which was really, really weird. A huge step back that not many people talk about. So this just looks like their version of the Origins camera,
when we're done.
where you can just swap to different characters and focus. And it's just weird.
Who gets to talk to Langstrom?
Okay, now you select which character you go through the mission with. Okay. Awkward silence. Okay. By the way, I did just order all of the comic books tied to this like era of Batman, Court of Owls and everything. It's like, I think it's called the New 52. And they have some really cool lore in that series.
What do we know so far about this
I think it's like a 10-book series. They've got a ton of really cool stuff. So I just ordered that so I can do my my research ahead of time. Court of Owls storyline is really good. Yeah, there's the other one. I haven't gotten to it yet, so no spoilers. But there's another one. I think it's like book 7 or number 7 in the series. It's the guy that has like the really, I don't even know how to describe, what is his name? Hold on, I'll look it up. I mean, so far this looks fine. This doesn't look bad. Let me check. What is his name?
So we got a positive ID on this faculty dude, Kirk Langstrom.
Right. I'll call it in on the way to the morgue.
The morgue? Like even this, there's weird hitching in the animations. It's like weirdly stuttery.
Damn it. Langstrom's dead. Do we know where his office is?
Seriously? Crap. Well, our notes had his office on the 3rd floor of Molson Hall.
Got it.
Bloom. That's who he is.
Third floor balconies open. Don't mind if
Is
I
that
do.
right?
Body cam recording.
Yeah, I think it's Bloom. The Bloom guy. He's insane. I mean, this is like my general bugaboo with these things, with the way Marvel DC is gone with these, is I really like the Batman Arkham games for the really rich stories.
Langstrom must have been killed somewhere else.
And like, this isn't bad, but
Those marks look fresh.
like, see, okay, this is better. This is better. I like this. Like, so far, most of what they've shown off is just that kind of mindless co-op gameplay, which for me at least is far less
Our professor
like
is very
compelling,
dead.
you know?
I'll let you know when I find the crime scene.
Good. Well, not good exactly, but at least a lead.
The real challenge will be getting out of here without the cops finding me.
Good luck.
Okay, following footsteps around.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
This must be where Langstrom died. The cops cleared out of here way too fast.
Okay.
Langstrom must have been working when he was attacked. Significant blood loss here.
He had a really bad boo-boo
Evidence
here.
of a struggle, then the attacker pinned him to the wall. They were merciless. Langstrom was dying, but he tried to get to that cabinet instead of the door. What was so important?
A hidden
A
wheelchair.
hidden door.
Door.
What secrets were you keeping, Dr. Langstrom? A thermostat
Usually
would be a
they'd
clever
use you'd use your detective equipment to figure that out, but now they're just straight up telling you. It's always tricky with these trailers, right? Because you want it to be like, you want it to move and clip along, but at the same time, like they want to show the gameplay is compelling. So if you went and they had to like find, like in The Witcher 3, you find like 5 random clues and then Geralt tells you the whole story of what happened, I don't think that plays well in a like a show off gameplay trailer like this. What I prefer is like, what game did this well? The Sherlock Holmes kind of did it, where they have it set up so you can like, you find all the clues and then you try to connect them through, like, I think they call them thoughts. And so you connect the thoughts together. So like, oh, this clue, the blood on the window, I tie it to the door still being locked. So he tried to go to the like glass door instead of to the actual door. Why did he do that? And then from that, there are multiple conclusions you could draw and pick from. So you can pick like, oh, he was trying to get to the door to get like a weapon or something. Or, oh, he avoided the door because maybe there was another perpetrator there guarding the door. So there was no reason, right? And the best games that do this detective stuff allow you to make wrong conclusions. And that's the thing that like kind of bugs me and annoys me about these half-assed detective games that have a detective system, but it's not really a detective game. And it's because they never allow you to do that, because they don't have the time to take into consideration making mistakes and coming to wrong conclusions. But in the Sherlock Holmes games, I love it that you can like decide something pretty early on, and if you just didn't think about it or plan around it properly, or you missed a big piece of evidence because you didn't look around carefully enough, you can end up going on a total side route that you shouldn't have gone on and waste a ton of time investigating stuff just to get to a dead end when your problem happened all the way back at the beginning. I love that stuff, but these types of games that do like a half-assed detective system never have that level of sophistication, you know. Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes games I like. They have their own clunk and their own stink to them. But I really like them. I do. I should get those on the Steam Deck. I wonder if those work. That would be great to play on the go. Not sure how I feel about this. Yeah, it's like Sherlock Holmes, Crime and Punishment. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is another one that just came out. There's a bunch of them. And they have their own clunk, but they're fun once you get over that initial hurdle.
Place to hide a keypad. A microwave. I hope Langstrom wasn't combining burritos with genetic specimens. Langstrom made sure to remember those dates. I should too. A phone number, but that's not a Gotham area code. Could be useful. Perfect. Time to see what Langstrom was so desperate to hide.
I always did find that really funny that, like, these cinematics, that look good. Like, this looks good. The lighting in this scene looks good, which is good because the problem I had with the last gameplay they showed was the lighting. It had like a weird mobile game look to it. But this actually is pretty well lit. I always do find it funny, though, in these games where, like, it's a super secret lab and then there's, like, the passwords for everything laid out around in Post-it notes. You know, oh, he circled his calendar with these specific numbers, and like, you're telling me a brilliant scientist couldn't remember a 4-digit pin or a 3-digit pin? It's just like he has to write it down. It's like a little stupid, but it's a game. You know, what are you gonna do? I think this is Unreal. Maybe it's not. I would have thought it is, because all the other games used it.
What on earth were you up to? Batman's dead professor had some serious skeletons in his closet.
That line was a little clunky. Like, they need you to know it's his former professor. Batman's former professor had some weird stuff. But, like, who would say that walking through this? Who wouldn't just be like, what the fuck is going on? You know? Like, exposition, look at this. We threw the line in there. I've seen crabs that big on Deadliest Catch. Speaking of, I love Deadliest Catch.
Langstrom's workstation. I should take a closer look. Well, hello there. A hard drive. I need to get this back to Belfry.
What's
then I can figure out your secrets, Langstrom.
What's this, like, reception to this been
on
so
my way
far?
back, the cops overlooked a ton of evidence. Weird marks on the walls, and apparently Langstrom had a secret lab. Hopefully this hard drive I found...
Because to me, this comes off as them trying to buck the impression they gave in the last gameplay that, yeah, this is running at 60. They're trying to buck the trend from the last gameplay reveal where people felt like it just was mindless combat thrown around. So they're trying to be like, no, we have a story, and look, we've got cutscenes, we've got interiors that are custom designed and cool areas.
Great.
This seems like a specific response to the feedback they got from the last one. This is one thing that's bugging me. Why is it that, like, every game nowadays needs to have, like, the most hipster bad guys ever? Like, why? One of the things I loved about the Arkham games is you saw the bad guys in that, even the brutes and the regular grunts. that ran around, the inmates, and like they actually look like scary people. They didn't just look cringy like this person or the other two. Like they actually look like murderous psychopaths you didn't want to mess with. But these guys just look cringy.
Oh crap! It's that girl! What's she doing here?
What is that flash when she hits him? Hold square for heavy melee attacks.
Freaks are here?
With Batman missing, gangs had become more aggressive. It was only a matter of time before the freaks showed up.
Gotham needs to see that someone still cares. I'll take care of this.
I can't focus on torching this place.
Use ambush takedowns to quickly knock out an unsuspecting enemy. Ambush takedowns make enough noise to alert nearby enemies, so be prepared for combat. Okay.
With all that racket, turn off the damn fire alarm up there. What?
I need to handle these guys before this gets any worse. Fire alarm! Die! Die! Die!
She's smashing the fire alarm, screaming, "Die, die, die!"
You deserve it.
See what I mean? Like, oh, instead of making them look like hardcore killers and bad guys you don't want to mess with, let's make sure they're quirky and they have like funny alien patches and stuff on their coats. Because you know what's more terrifying than a bad guy that looks like he's been doing push-ups for 15 years straight? Somebody who really cares about their appearance. That's more intimidating because they have their life together, right? This person, they've got it figured out. You should be more scared of this person than any of those guys from the original Arkham series.
Quietly.
The average temperature of something lights on fire is between 424 and 475 Fahrenheit.
What? See what I mean? Like, what? How does that contribute to the like? Are these gang members or whoever they're supposed to be? Like, are they supposed to? So they call them freaks. Are these freaks supposed to be like super smart and educated? Like, no regular human being who isn't like a chemistry major knows the exact burning point to start ignition.
On fire is between 424 and 470.
Quietly.
The average temperature of something lights on fire is between 424 and 475 Fahrenheit.
Guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? See, like, it's not just me, right? It's weird. It's weird. It's like trying to be like, oh, well, we have to help the kids that play this learn things while they play too. So we'll put this like really smart stuff in the game. What? Like, this is supposed to be like an arsonist. Do you think most arsonists are like, oh, I love this? Because most things when they burn are an average of 424 degrees up to 5. Well, like, what are we doing? That's pretty cringy.
Hey, look up here!
Is this guy just going to start describing like quantum physics while we approach him at the window?
I'm a professor of setting stuff on fire!
So like at least that was stupid. Like, oh yeah, he's an arsonist. They're starting a fire and now they're in like a university. So now he's yelling to his friends like, haha, I'm a professor of fires. You know what? He's a dumb criminal. That makes sense. The other thing was just weird.
I can probably stay out of sight here.
fumes getting to you, buddy?
Smashy, smashy, smash, smash, smash.
Have you noticed like all of the guy grunts are like super dumb, smashy, smashy, I'm a professor of fire, and then all of the female, at least female presenting grunts are like rattling off science facts while they set a place on fire. It's a little like it's just weird. It's just weird, and it comes off very like Watch Dogs 2, you know?
Sweet dreams.
He's got quite the hair. Looks like pencils sticking out of his head.
You burn now, grass. No one will mow you ever again.
Oh, look at that. Bonus rewards, 38 purple flurp and 75 green sticks. Cool. For me, this is more worrying than anything else I've seen. Like the random desire and need for like tons of crafting materials and crafting systems in these types of games. It's just, you don't need it. It's not necessary. And a lot of the time it just bloats things up. Yeah, go to the Arkham market. You can sell your green sticks for blue sticks, and then those blue sticks can be used to upgrade.
What are they even doing here?
Enjoying the fireworks. Burn, you poke.
Now that's just embarrassing. This is terrible. It could bring the whole building down.
I mean, yeah, the whole thing's on fire.
Hostages. I need to hurry.
Can anyone hear me? Help! They won't let us go.
Do you know who I am?
You knew how this was gonna end?
You're rude, baddie. Slow it down.
I can't stand the light white outline. Like, make it a little more pronounced or get rid of it. It just looks like one of those mobile game auto targeting things, you know?
Freaks, you gotta give more than this.
And the random light flashes when she punches with that thing.
Come at me. I ain't scared.
Oh, we have health packs now.
Freeze! Don't move! Go, Steve, move!
Broken.
Big man, stupid, big shield.
Let's see if you'll break too.
The dumb brute archetype is one of my favorites, for the record. A 50-pound kettlebell on the end of a chain.
You're gonna lose those pretty
It just looks really button mashy. Like, so for the record, the original Arkham games, I know some people say, oh, they're very button mashy because you just like pound X to punch and then you occasionally counter. But in those games, all of the NPCs around you could attack you at any point in your combo with another enemy. So they could interrupt your beatdown and you would have to counter them. So you're always having to be ready to hit the counter while you're performing whatever, combos or whatever to take out the other guy. So it's not just like pound square, 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 square. It takes a little bit more attention than that, especially on like hard, right? This is just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like parries are a very important thing. It doesn't seem like there's much danger involved, at least with those mini bosses we just saw. Like, I don't know, man. And now there's health packs. Like that just kind of worries me. It's just a lot of things here that are weird. Like, why add health packs? Just ask yourself like the one little question. Why use health packs, right? And health packs usually are added to a game so that in a single combat encounter, you can do something to refill your health in case you make a mistake. Usually that means that either the combat is really hard, so you're going to be receiving damage. This allows you to heal it in the fight, so you don't have to play perfectly every time. Or it's that your health starts low enough that they felt they needed to counterbalance it with these things. Or they have like crafting systems and want you to use the crafting system to make like health kits and stuff, which I'm sure is going to be present as well. But across the board, it usually, to me,
I'm good.
ends up being a little more
Matt into decrypting
worrisome
this hard
than
drive. Be there soon.
anything else.
Good Langstrom. Judging by
Especially when the previous Archetype games or Arkham games didn't use those at all. Like, this navigation is fine. And people being like, "Oh, it's on rails." I mean, it's a story mission. So like most story missions are on rails. It is cool that you could have gone through this with any of the other characters. That's kind of cool. But I think the problem is that we haven't seen those other characters in these same missions. So there's no way of really knowing how they play differently. And from what we've seen, it doesn't look like they will play differently. Like you follow these tracks all the way through. You'll look around, figure out the passcode, and then you come out here and you just fight through waves of enemies. So it didn't really matter which you chose. You know, it's all going to be the same. And some of those dialogue lines were just so cringy. I can't even.